Helen here with Eyes on the Game. I'm here at One Kicks Gym being joined by the Motown phenom, Mr. Kevin Lee. Now, great to see you. I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yeah, I've been laying low. You know, sometimes you just got to shut up, go out and train, and get back to what I really love doing. So it's by design for a reason.
Yes. Now, laying low, but you do have that win over Edson Barboza. In April, you're fighting at UFC Milwaukee, December 15th, a rematch against Iaquinta. What was the thing that really intrigued you about this, other than I know that you guys fought almost 5 years ago?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that redemption factor. I don't like him, he don't like me, so that make it fun. But really, I'm using Al to send a message. You know, he went 5 rounds with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Look, really, you know, he showed some holes in Khabib's game. So once I go out there and I dominate him, then Khabib, there's no other choice. People got to give me my credit due. So, you know, I know it. My team know it. Khabib's team knows it. The world's got to know it. And I think that we picked the best spot. You know, this is the last Fox show. It's going to be one of the biggest cards of the year. So I'm going to humiliate him on national TV.
And about Khabib, and you said that he kind of exposed some of his holes. What were they?
You know, I've been seeing the holes for many years now. I've been calling them out for about 2 years now, and talking about it with anybody that'll listen. You know, the man keeps his chin up high. He's got the same patterns, the same movements, and I don't see him filling up those mistakes that he's making. Nobody's just taking advantage of him. You know, everybody's afraid to wrestle with the man. Everybody's afraid to get in close and afraid of that grappling. I'm not. So, you know, and I think I'm going to answer a lot of questions that people got about him.
Now, what did you think of his fight against Conor?
It was a good fight. Again, I saw some of them same holes again. It looked to me as more Conor losing than Khabib winning. Conor looked like I expected more out of him. I thought he would have learned a little bit from Floyd when he fought him. Learned a little bit more about composure, about respecting a guy. He went out there. He fighting the man with his hands down and not expecting to get dropped. So, I wasn't too impressed either way. Like it was an okay fight. It was a good fight. It was a good build up, good everything around it. But the fight itself, I wasn't too impressed.
Now, do you think that he would beat Tony? Because I know you fought Tony as well. So how would you see that fight going?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the X factor. I think Tony Ferguson deserves that shot, especially the way he looked versus Anthony Pettis on the same night. I'm expecting him to get that shot, and as long as either one of them are holding that belt, I'm staying at this division. Even if they open up that 165-pound division, which I think is my true home, I'll be here to fight either one of them. How I see that fight going, I don't know. It's gonna be a drag 'em out fight. I think I've already fought the best Tony Ferguson. When he came back, looked off after that knee injury, he looked a little frail to me. He looked like he was on a little wobbly legs. Didn't look like he had as much power either. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Now, you said that you've been calling out Khabib for the past 2 years. Now, say he and Tony fight, and say, for example, Tony wins the belt. Would you still want a fight with Khabib, or is it just kind of like because, he has a belt or he's still undefeated? What is it about it?
I kind of got this same question before he fought with Conor, and people were asking me who do I want to win and to kind of get the division rolling. It's something about beating a man that ain't been beat to me that kind of get me up. So if he loses to Tony, yeah, I mean, it depends on how the fight goes. It depends on how he looks to see if there's a challenge still out there. I like a big challenge, and I'm going after the biggest challenge that I could possibly find. So I never chase one man. I'm chasing for that title. So if Tony wins, obviously I'm going to get that fight with Tony back, and then we'll see if Khabib can work his way back up there then.
Now, why do you think that he hasn't really been interested or too interested in a fight with you?
Because his people know. Ali trains with me down at Extreme Couture. He sees me all the time. I've known the man for years. We got our little back and forth here and there. And every time I talk to him about it, he knows. And he's told me years ago, he said his plan was to fight Conor, fight Tony, and then retire. And when he said that to my face, I'm like, I lost all respect for him right there. How can you... I don't see how these guys are they're trying to pick fights based off of who's got the most following, who's got the biggest Twitter following. I mean, come on, this is can we move past that? Can we, not every fight can be, oh, you versus Floyd Mayweather all of a sudden, and let's make a whole bunch of. It's more than that to me, and I feel like the sport should be more than that. I feel like his team know that I'm the biggest challenge out there for him, and Ali's smart. He's a smart manager. I will give him that. He's going to try and keep him away from me as long as possible. It's going to be my job to go out there against Iaquinta and show the world that I'm the real challenge for him. And I'm not going to leave him no other option. I'm going to keep beating whoever they put in front of me so he can't run no more.
Now, speaking of your upcoming fight against Iaquinta, first off, I have to ask, I see some stitches on your eye. Are you doing okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm 100%. Yeah, you're going to see me in a minute. We make the training camp harder than a fight for a reason. Al's a tough fight. I'm in no mind am I overlooking the man. I'm looking to go out there and embarrass him in every facet of the game. So I'm making sure I cover all my I got all my ducks in a row so I can shoot him. He's tough. Al can stick in there, and I think even if you ask him what's his best attribute, he's tough. But everybody tough. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna whoop him.
Now, I did speak to your coach, Dewey Cooper, and I told him you guys are both great grapplers, both very well-rounded. So what advantages do you think that you have over him? And especially now, I mean, it's been almost 5 years since you first fought him, so you guys have both, grown a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to really shine through in this fight he fought a kid that was coming, my UFC debut, coming from fighting in a bar to fighting in Prudential Center in front of millions of people. And now he's fighting somebody that's then already competed 12 times since then and been at a higher stage. I think you're really going to see my experience come through. I think you're really going to see, I've had 12 fights since our fight. He's only had 6. And I think that just goes to show I'm the one that's really putting in the work, and I'm constantly improving. I still think he's the same man that he was back then. So we're going to see how the fight goes, and I think he's going to be in a route. He in for a surprise. I tell him that.
And you have been 10-2 since your fight against Al. Some news that just happened, Demetrius Johnson, Ben Askren, that trade that happened, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time in this sport. I said it before I even started. I felt like this sport is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The sport's as old as me. I'm kind of excited to grow along with it. There's a reason why they put me on this last Fox show before we switch over to ESPN. It's going to be one of the most watched shows of the year. So I'm excited to kind of bring them into the new era. That era might include trades. There's more promotions out there. There's more money to be made. The sport is just getting bigger and bigger. More people are getting into it. So when I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, okay, I got a little gleam in my eyes. I'm ready. That's why, these past couple months, I've been kind of shying away from even like my social media or really doing anything. I'm in the gym, I'm working because I see the longer term goal. I'm the youngest guy in the top 10 right now. I'm the youngest guy in the division, really, and I'm here for a long, long time. So right now, I'm working on my skills. So when there becomes another trade, we'll see.
But how many fights are left on your contract?
Right now, I think I have 4 more fights. Okay. But again, I mean, they're subjective. There's always room for negotiations, especially after this one. It's going to be a huge fight. There's going to be bigger fights to be had after that. And my price is about to go way, way up.
And you mentioned the 165-pound. When do you think that division will open officially?
It's inevitable. I think, everybody knows it. You see more and more people calling for it. I kind of started that ball a little bit and jumped out in front of that for a reason, because I think it's necessary. Like I said, the sport is growing. The sport's getting bigger. You have to understand that the more divisions, the more champions, the more top 15, it's only good for all of us, the more options. So I feel like it's inevitable. But again, I started this sport at 155. I'm getting a little bit bigger as I get older. I'm getting a little bit, putting a little more muscle on my frame, but I'll be at 155 until I get that belt.
But speaking of that, how is the weight cut, everything going for this fight?
I've been keeping my weight down. I've been staying lean ever since my fight with Edson Barboza. I never ballooned back up to my 190, 195 that I normally would. I've been staying lean this whole time, so I'm excited about this one. I'm getting everything in a row first, and then I'm gonna go out there and get it done.
So you used to walk around like at 190. What do you walk around at now?
I used to walk around about 192, 193 would be, kind of the middle and ground. And ever since then, I've been walking around about 181. I'm probably I woke up this morning at 179 and a half before I ate something. So I'm probably like 180 right now.